Geo Landing Pages, the best way to get your WordPress website ranked in multiple cities. Our proprietary software creates multiple city-specific landing pages for your business. You'll benefit from best practice white hat SEO techniques that create dynamic web pages search engines love. Your landing pages include custom image names, unique Exif and GPS data, proper heading tags, meta descriptions and titles, alt text, and other essential on-page SEO elements. Our in-house copywriting team then reviews and edits every page to include unique content relevant to each city you serve. Built with over 20 years of experience in search engine optimization, web design, digital marketing, and copywriting, Geo Landing Pages saves you time and money while getting your pages ranked.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Local SEO Accelerator webinar. I'm your host today, Floyd Mitchell. What is this webinar about? In this webinar, I'm going to show you how to take your agency and make it a lot more profitable while driving results for your local SEO clients via free, organic search engine traffic using a simple strategy. If you're a freelancer or agency owner, this webinar is for you. I'm going to show you how to create a nearly instant, massive, and lasting presence on the internet for your clients. Now here's a little disclaimer. By the end of this webinar, you'll have learned everything you need to kickstart and leverage this program right away, plus a special offer to help you scale. Turn off your phone, turn off your email, and focus on what I'm about to share with you. It's going to change the way you do local SEO for your clients. Most importantly, I'm not teaching you something that I haven't been doing myself for well over 10 years. I'm not some guru or fame-seeking entrepreneur. I'm a real, legit SEO practitioner who wants to share my breakthroughs to reach more people. If you follow the things I'm teaching you, you will succeed. Okay, everyone, so the lawyers are telling us we need to give you this quick legal disclaimer. Our results and the results of our clients are not typical. We're not implying that you'll duplicate them or profit in any way from the information in this training. We have the benefit of practicing direct response marketing for 15 plus years. We're highly skilled. Many of our clients and agencies we work with are highly skilled too. Your results will vary and depend on many factors. These include, but are not limited to, your niche, product, advertising, background, experience, and work ethic. All business involves risk, as well as massive and consistent effort and action. If you're not willing to take full responsibility for your own actions with this training and your own results, then it's best you leave this webinar now. With that all out of the way, let's get into the webinar. What you'll get from this webinar, you'll learn how I create lots of leads for local clients using a nuanced strategy that I've been developing for over a decade. You'll learn why these tactics are here to stay and have lasted for so long. I'm also going to share with you why more people haven't used this particular strategy. You're going to learn how this knowledge can make you and your clients a lot of money, because at the end of the day, it's all about results. And I have some special secrets for you. Plus, we're going to share some surprising strategies that you need to know about. And I'll be giving away some very high-value freebies. I promise to share the following: step-by-step how to rank your websites for local search, exactly how to use the same nuanced strategy we do to significantly boost traffic, leads, and sales from organic SEO, why this tactic is here to stay, really special offers that will allow you to scale your implementation of this tactic using our very own Geo Landing Pages software. Free bonus items. I really appreciate you joining me here today. And as a little bonus for those of you that stick around until the end, you'll get free access to the following. I'm going to give you a free guide in the form of a PDF. It's titled 10 Things Your Webmaster Can Do Today to Get You Higher Rankings. This 11-page PDF guide has step-by-step instructions. It includes an interactive checklist, describes each SEO task, will boost your traffic fast, and can all be done in one day. And We're going to send you our Death Star proposal via Google Sheets, a surefire way to bag bigger, more profitable projects. These 2 items are of tremendous value as they contain deep insights into areas of SEO that you just might not know about. And this is my free gift to you just for watching. About the free bonus items. These free bonus items condense down my 20 years of internet marketing experience for local small businesses. They will save you a ton of time and money, while also diving deeper into many of the things I share with you today. No need to take notes during this webinar. I'll be giving you access to all of these slides at the end, along with your free bonuses. So be sure to hang out, and I promise to make it worth your time. Here shortly, our special guest Kyle Roof is going to share his fast and effective SEO module. In this brief video, he's going to show you the most essential and important on-page factors you need to rank your client sites higher. Kyle is the co-founder of High Voltage SEO, a bespoke SEO firm with locations in Phoenix, Berlin, and Melbourne. He is also the co-founder of Page Optimizer Pro. Kyle is one of the most respected internet marketers in the world and has been featured in some of the most important SEO publications, including Charles Float, Common Sense SEO, Authority Hacker, Lionzeal, Search Engine Journal, and Black Hat versus White Hat. And here's what Kyle says about this program. He says, quote, "I'm all about things that work. Floyd's system is one of those things. It just works. I'm not sure what else you could ask for. You get great looking pages that give you the best chance to rank and convert. These pages enhance user experience and provide real information to get in front of the right people in different locations." This webinar will reveal why so many webmasters don't do the one thing that can generate the most leads for their clients in both the near and long-term future, and how we deliver this one service at scale. A tactic that is so in your face. When I show you what it is, you'll immediately want to do it. How hotels, rental car companies, and other major verticals have depended almost exclusively on this tactic to drive internet leads and customers. How to ride the next big wave of internet marketing with timing that actually plays to your hand rather than tired, old, busted techniques that Google has already caught on to. This webinar will reveal how to stealthily take over unclaimed city-specific keywords in the major search engines that drive calls and leads before your competitors do. How you can set yourself up for long-term success while reducing your cost and risk on local paid search campaigns. The one thing your web pages need to actually boost your Google My Business listing. Nobody is going to share this with you but me, because few have even discovered it. How to do everything I teach you about this proven system with ease and simplicity, while major companies spend upwards of $1 million per campaign on web developers, designers, SEOs, and engineers to accomplish less rankings than you will with my proven system, strategy, and tools. This webinar will reveal a revelation the SEO community is just now waking up to and how they've been using WordPress all wrong to date. Google's John Mueller tweeted October 3rd, 2020, quote, "Exif is fun." I'll explain what I think this means to the SEO world here in a little bit. You'll learn about the confluence of factors that has created one of the biggest opportunities online for small businesses in over a decade. Best of all, you're going to see exactly how I've been smoking competitors online with this unfair advantage while demonstrating how you can too. Hello, I'm Floyd Mitchell. Small business advertising has been my bread and butter for the last 20 years. I've been featured alongside some of the biggest names and thinkers in the world of SEO and marketing. I've generated millions of dollars in sales for my customers with my proven SEO tactics. I grew one company to over $1 million in annual recurring revenue in 6 short months. I competed in SEO for some of the toughest keywords in the biggest cities in America and won. I'm going to let you in on a big secret that's made me and my clients a lot of money over the years. I've been secretly leveraging this one piece of software and strategy to dominate local search results since 2007. I was recently featured on the Blueprint podcast alongside industry heavyweights, Rand Fishkin and Joe Cannella. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from some of my clients that have worked with me over the years.
Hi, my name is Johnny Durango, and I'm a director of photography and producer based here in Los Angeles, California. I just recently completed work on the feature film Fat Man starring Mel Gibson. I've known Floyd Mitchell about 20 years, and about 10 years ago, I realized the future of my business was marketing online to find new collaborators. So I reached out to Floyd, and knowing that he specialized in SEO, he let me know that we could focus on a few key words that would really drive business in my direction. As a business owner, I know the most important thing is visibility. And how do you get that visibility? For me, the answer was Floyd and Matt's Geo Landing Pages. We settled on the keywords Director of Photography Los Angeles and Cinematographer Los Angeles. And after we did this, I saw almost immediate results. It was incredible as I began to rank within the top 3 results for both of those terms. And it stayed like that for over the last decade. These terms have helped me find new clients like Tyson Foods, who brought me a commercial starring Anthony Anderson. It was one of the greatest decisions I ever made. I've been ranking within the top 3 consistently for both of those search terms. And those search terms have helped me bring in a lot of really terrific work. As an artist, I know there's nothing more important that can bring your company to the surface and help you get the views that you need.
Hi, my name is Seren Saran. I own a company called Strangel Films. I just wanted to do a little shout out to Floyd Mitchell. Floyd is one of the best SEO web developers and designers I've ever worked with. He collaborated with me on my site, strangel.com, STRAYANGEL.com. We had a small little site with a little custom-built content management system. Floyd came in, built a whole top-of-the-line, professionally managed CMS and SEO with all the latest technologies. He provides all my hosting. Long story short, his knowledge, his expertise, his proprietary SEO experience and techniques have allowed us to get to the top page of Google. Our business has probably doubled, and I have really just Floyd to thank for that. So thanks, Floyd.
Hi, I'm Layla Balakane. I work as a family law mediator in California. The team at Geo Landing Pages have helped me introduce family mediation to communities all across California. I had my website for over 10 years, and I've never ever gotten business from Google search. Matt, Floyd, and their team at Geo Landing Pages redesigned my entire website and built over 50 geo pages for me all across California. I'm honestly been astonished by the transformation in my practice. I'm getting calls weekly, and most importantly, these calls have allowed me to help families in a way that I've always wanted. What they do really works. And they are the only marketing company I have worked with that genuinely care about my success. They have gone above and beyond for me. And this video really is the least I can do to show them my appreciation. So if you run a business and you're looking to expand your presence online, I could not make a better recommendation.
The system I'm about to show you has been proven time and time again. To prove that it works, next you'll hear from a top SEO and internet marketer named Billy G in Washington. This guy's been making money on the internet for well over a decade, and he specializes in local marketing. If it works for him in one of the most competitive niches, it'll likely work for you too. The reason I mention him is because marketing search engine optimization services is tough business, and the competition can be fierce. See how Billy is now crushing the bones of his competitors online. Hey everybody, this is Billy G from warank.com. Quick story. Billy was on Facebook, got into our funnel, and took the webinar and got in touch with us. He was so ecstatic about this strategy and product I'm about to share with you. He was the most enthusiastic, I would say, out of our early group. You guys are the second big wave here, but Billy and I really hit it off. One weekend, we produced a life-changing amount of pages on his agency website. And he's going to talk about the results a little bit here with you.
Yeah, hey, I'm glad to be here, Floyd. You and Matt have been great with your time, and I'm so happy to share my experience with your audience because it's been great. As far as a local search engine optimization tool goes, I don't think there's anything like it in existence. I've never seen anything work as fast as your system works, and I'm just very, very excited to share it with my clients. Just launching these pages using your system has pulled my Google My Business rankings up. And so I'm, for several keywords, I'm in the 3-pack. I'm ranking on the first page of Google for those terms. And I can't even count the number of city pages that I'm ranking for. I think we launched about 500 pages or so. One for every city in Washington, 2 for every city in Washington. We're targeting search engine optimization and web design. And the results have been astonishing.
So today's October 3rd, 2020. Can you show us some live results?
Sure, absolutely. SEO web design. I'm middle of page 1 and rising. Now, I personally built my own city pages for these cities, and I couldn't get them to rank. It was very frustrating. And the second I used your system and relaunched the pages using your system, it was like magic. Within 2 weeks, I was ranking on the first page for these terms. Let's try Prosser. This one was very interesting to me. I think it was either web design or SEO. I'm number 1. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. I've been doing local SEO for almost 10 years now, and I've never seen these pages rank this fast. I've never seen them rank this fast. I don't know what sort of magic you guys are doing in the background with these things, but it's very, very exciting, and I'm really excited to share it with my local clients.
Well, thank you, Billy. I'm going to show everyone a little bit about what goes into that magic here next. So we really appreciate your time.
What I'm going to show you next is very important. You can't afford to throw money away on internet ads that aren't performing. Pay-per-click marketing has become a low to poor performer. I know, you've tried it. You've known for a long time now that you need a local organic strategy to drive sales for your business. You likely haven't been successful at solving your marketing problem to date. If someone else has been able to get their website ranked at the top of Google, so can you. I'm going to show you how to solve your marketing problem in this presentation. Click fraud on paid ads is a major issue. 78% of marketers cite click fraud as their top concern. 75% of desktop clicks on 300 by 600 ad units are fraudulent. 50% of all online ads are never seen by a human being. 8% of all impressions have the opportunity to be seen by a real person. These stats are by PPC Protect. Pay-per-click is risky business. With organic search, companies use search engine optimization to optimize their website's visibility or rankings in search results. Organic traffic is free once it is attained.
Few are as qualified to talk about organic and pay-per-click traffic as our next guest, Joe Cannella. He managed over $150 million of paid ads per year as a Google employee. Joe was there for almost 10 years and managed some of the biggest brands spending on the Google Ads platform. He's a huge fan of the Geo Landing Pages software and uses it in his current agency.
Hi, my name is Joe Cannella, and I worked at Google for just shy of 10 years, from 2003 to 2013, working predominantly in search ads, mostly with big box and specialty retail companies as my clients, folks like Macy's, Walmart, Williams-Sonoma. Since then, I've continued to work privately with clients of all sorts, from big companies to small local businesses, and one thing that I know to be true is that the system is designed in such a way that when any particular market gets saturated with advertisers, it gets more expensive. It's driven by supply and demand, and the secret is out, more or less. So good luck finding a market that isn't saturated. So the margin of error now on the paid side is small, which makes it challenging for established businesses, much less small businesses with limited resources. In my last few years at Google, my biggest push was to help convince our product team that all clicks are not created equal. And my evidence came from data showing that there was a dramatic difference in performance for my clients on a geographic basis. This went on to lead to Google's bid modifier option, which you can now execute by device, location, time of day, audiences, demographics, etc. The point is, whether it's paid search or SEO, it's critical to look at ways in which you can address your customers more directly. And location, still today, remains one of the most overlooked and useful levers in both. In paid search now, for the same keyword, you can bid $1 in one county, and then $10 a click for the next county over, and you can do it at scale for thousands of locations. On the SEO side, however, addressing the local opportunity at scale has continued to be a challenge. So when I came across Geo Landing Pages, I thought, finally, it's being taken seriously. Part of me was thinking, well, yeah, customers are people, and people are very much attached to the places where they live and work. So the more that you can make it clear that you do business where they do business, well, that's just a winning strategy. And with Geo Landing Pages, you can finally do that at scale.
I'm going to be sharing with you 3 secrets that you can use today to get consistent, free, local buyers to your website from Google, Bing, and the other search engines. Here's the 3 secrets. Geo Landing Pages. You can quickly optimize your website for revenue-producing city-specific keywords. But that's not all. I'm going to show you the power of Geo Landing Pages and one really extraordinary feature that you'll want to leverage right away. The second secret is geocoding your images, not just the basics. I'll show you specifically how to leverage Exif data unlike anyone else to make your local rankings and maps listings explode. I'm also going to show you some live examples of pages that Google loves so much they rank number 1 with little to no backlinks. In some cases, no backlinks at all. Ugly footer links are powerful. Clients and designers often complain about footer links that show the cities the business serves. Little did they know that removing these links crushed their rankings. Don't give in the next time you want to include city-specific links on the homepage footer or global footers of your SEO projects. The trade-off for a clean design versus high local rankings is just not worth it. And quite frankly, a dumb mistake that so many people make. So here's secret number 1 explained in a little more detail. Now, some of you know what these city pages are. Some of you don't. We call them Geo Landing Pages. These geographically focused landing pages, when made properly, can generate lots of leads and revenue. It's no secret that city-specific landing pages can be internet marketing muscle. Your chances of generating a substantial amount of leads on the internet is greatly increased when you create web pages that are focused on the cities you do business in. The secret that few know is how to actually produce these pages at scale while also maintaining a beautiful design and user experience. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm going to give you my theory as to why these pages do so well before we get into the more technical aspects of how our system produces these pages at scale while being compliant with the major search engines. Okay, everyone, let's dive into the training. I'm going to bring in Kyle Roof to share his fast and effective SEO strategy. Listen very closely, as Kyle is likely the only person on earth that has run over 300 single variable tests on Google's algorithm. And every word he says here contains golden nuggets of information to up your on-page SEO game. When you leverage the power of what Kyle's telling you here, along with the Geo Landing Pages software, you will have an unfair advantage.
All right, so going to talk about fast and effective SEO. I think that's really what it's all about. You know, being able to put out a page that can get somewhere and isn't going to take you years to do it. I mean, often you just need to get something out that is SEO'd, and you know, you don't have 3 years to gain the SEO knowledge that you might need to be competitive, but you want to be competitive. You know, you've got good content. You want to make sure that Google also understands that it's good content, and you might need to do SEO at scale. And really, in my mind, scale starts at 2. You know, after you've done one page, scaling really just is the next page, you know, and then to grow out a site from there. If you've built a website, you know that doing a site is writing a book, you know, and it takes that kind of amount of work just to produce the content, and in order to then have it be effective as well is something that needs to be integrated in, and being able to do that quickly. Fast and effective SEO, it really requires knowing which terms to place where is really what it comes down to. And there are very specific places on a page that Google looks at. There are very specific terms that Google is looking for. And knowing where and when to place them, you can do things quickly. You can do them at scale. You can do effective SEO without even knowing really anything about SEO. There are 3 important types of important terms that I want to run by real quick. The first is primary keywords. This is your main keyword for the page. This is what you think of when somebody sits down and they type into Google and you want your page to appear. That's what a primary keyword is. it's usually the kind of thing that has the most search volume. If you're looking for those types of metrics, it's also usually the most competitive. All of your competitors want this term. Next thing are variations in secondary keywords. Variations are variations of your primary keyword. So if it's a phrase, like best purple frisbee, variations would be the words on their own. So you're not necessarily trying to rank for those, but they're parts of that phrase. Those are variations. You can get these from Google. These are the bold terms in Google, and it turns out they're a ranking factor. Another variation would be a very close synonym, such as a lawyer for attorney, or vice versa, something that's extremely close. That's a variation, and that's something that you should consider. It'll help you rank for your primary keyword. Secondary keywords are usually long tail variations of your primary keyword, and there are things that you win by properly optimizing for that primary keyword. It's important to note what those might be, and you can get those often from related searches. If you do a search for your term and scroll to the bottom of the page, those terms down there are all terms, or most of them, if they're relevant, they can be terms that you can win simply by optimizing that primary keyword. And if they're really important to you, you want to get them on the page, and you can win them without doing a lot of heavy lifting SEO. Google Trends is another place. We can look for these terms, terms that are trending, that are rising or falling. You can find related terms that you can win when you properly optimize for your top level phrase. The last thing are contextual terms. These, it's not there's no hiding the ball. They provide context and meaning. You can talk about a kitchen, but there are different ways to talk about that, or different scenarios. You could use terms like stove, sink, kitchen, or refrigerator, and then you're talking about actual kitchen. You could talk about backsplash, tile, French country. Now you're talking about remodeling a kitchen. Or you could talk about family, love, home, and now you're talking about that the kitchen is the place that's the heart of the home. So your keyword could be a kitchen, but the contextual terms tell you what you're talking about. Those are also very important for SEO. These are labeled LSI, and that's a bit of a lazy term. Old school SEOs really balk at that term. It's the term the industry has adopted, and it basically just means contextual terms. Terms that give semantic meaning are LSI.
There's been a lot of argument around that, right? Like people within the SEO community, people have debated that, I guess, the technical nature of that term.
Yeah, and really what I came to the conclusion is the people that don't like the term just don't like the term, because it's called latent. It's just latent semantic indexing is what it stands for, and they're like, well, that's a form of indexing, and that's not what's happening. And I mean, you could debate that as a semantic point as well, but maybe LSA, a latent semantic analysis, they might like better. I don't know. But then they'll tell you that Google can understand context, and well, what's Google using? Well, contextual terms. Well, okay, right. You're talking about the exact same thing. Right. If you like entities, which are pretty hot right now, entities are contextual terms. Entities are a person, place, object, or event, or organization for Google that Google knows. It helps Google understand what that content is about. It's a contextual term. It's LSI. One way you can get these terms is by looking at the most frequently used terms from your competitors. Those often then provide a decent list, and there are lots of tools that do this. Of course, Pop does it, but there are a lot of tools that you could actually do it, or you can do it by hand. You can just kind of eyeball, like, well, this term shows up a lot. That's probably a contextual term that's important for you to get on your page as well. We're gonna go through then. So those are the important terms. Now there are places to put them. Google looks at very specific places on a website, and different places mean more to Google. They're more important, and so it's more important to get your primary keyword, its variations, your secondary keywords, and your contextual terms in specific places, so that Google can understand what you're trying to talk about, and then also you can show the Google that this is the right thing to rank for whatever your target is. Group A, which is the most important, has the most value. That's your meta title, which is the page title that search engines see, and that's what's displayed in the SERPs most often. Your H1, that's usually your page title that humans see. Your body content, that's the main content on the page that is usually in paragraph text tags, or in a table or a list sort of a thing. And then your URL, so .com/primary keyword. Those are the top 4 places to put a keyword, and if you're trying to rank, you really need to focus on those the most. The next set, which is important but a little less, not quite as valuable but still carries some weight, are your H2s, H3s, H4s. Those are typically used to divide up a page into subheadings or subtitles. And then anchor text, that's clickable text that's on the page. That could be a link that goes to lower in your page. That could be a link that goes somewhere else in your site. It could be a table of contents. It could also be a link that goes to an authority site, such as a .gov or Wikipedia or something like that. Any clickable text Google looks at and gives weight to. Group C, these have less importance, but they still do carry some weight. So it's like bold and italic terms, image alt. That was a very old school way to spam list of stuff. Everything in your image alt, Google figured that out. I don't think it took them very long. They then reduced the value, but there still is a little bit of value in your term. You know, if you use an image that is appropriate, you should be getting your keyword or variations or LSI type terms in there naturally. You know, if again, on that purple Frisbee example, if you have a person in the park playing Frisbee golf, it should be person in park playing Frisbee golf. You know, now you're getting variations. You know, you're getting that word Frisbee on its own. Throwing a purple Frisbee. You know, that's a variation of best purple Frisbee. Group D, these are important, but they're not seen on the page when visitors come to such a schema. Schema are tags that go behind your text that tells search engines what things are. It identifies things for search engines, and they say, oh, I know what that is. Open Graph, that's actually code for Facebook. When Facebook gets a link, it looks for Open Graph to know what to display, but Google also crawls that. And then other HTML tags, other HTML areas, Google's looking at those spots within the code and will pull keywords from them, variations in contextual terms as well. Here's how to do fast and effective. Put your primary keyword in Group A. It's that simple. Wow. One time in each spot. So your meta title, your URL, your H1, and your body copy. And if you're not sure and you're really confused or like just need to get and go, do it one time in all those places, including body content. Don't worry about any kind of density numbers or term frequency. If you just need to get it and go, do that. For your variations in secondary terms, focus on your H2s and H3s. That should be pretty easy because they're breaking up your page into blocks that are understandable. You think 400 to 600 words is a good section. If you write that much content, you probably need an H2 and H3 to break it up. That's where then you want to put those variations in secondary terms. I recommend finding 2 to 3. That's always a good number. Because if you're going to write around 1,000 to 1,500 words, give or take, which is usually an average for most, that's 2 to 3 secondary terms. So do your search, scroll to the bottom, find your related keywords, and then use those for your sections. I don't really worry about the variations too much. You should be able to write about your term and not have to use it over and over and over again, the primary keyword. You know, again, on the best purple Frisbees, you're talking about Frisbees, that's fine. Even purple ones, you know, and what might be the best Frisbee, but you don't need to repeat best purple Frisbee 1,000 times to be effective. Just write like you should, and it'll take care of itself. The contextual terms, here's where we want to get those. In the body content is the most important thing. You're giving meaning to what you're trying to write about. In your H2s and H3s, it's also important. Your image alts and file names, as I was talking about, be descriptive. You should have images that make that easy. You shouldn't have to shoehorn in anything. It should actually just describe what you're actually talking about. Your bold and italic text is not a bad idea. Lists and tables is also very good to have a context and meaning. And you can see that with these things, you're almost designing around elements on the page. You know, if you plan on having a list or plan on having a table, it helps you write better. If you plan on having a certain number of images, it helps you write better content that has proper context and meaning. Getting into word count, again, 1,000 to 1,500 words is a pretty decent average. If you don't know or you're not sure, shoot for about 1,300 words is what I tell people. A better way to do it is to eyeball your competitors, the ones that are currently on page 1. How many words do they have as an average? Shoot for that. If you're not sure that you can do that, or just don't know, or just need to start typing, I'd aim for about 1,300, just as a general rule. All right, and here's an advanced tip on that. Find 3 to 5 supporting keywords. Now, supporting keywords are often terms that you might not get on your page, but are relevant to what you're talking about. A great place to find these is people also ask. So take your keyword and turn it into a question. So what purple Frisbees, how purple Frisbees, that kind of a thing. And you will get a people also ask section if it doesn't exist already. Those will give you excellent questions that perhaps your visitors would like to know about. Write articles about those on your site and link them to your target page. This will give you context. This will give you related content. This will help Google understand what you're talking about. It'll also pass your internal link juice to the right spot. One other thing is that this helps you probably not have to worry about actually going out and doing a huge link building campaign, because if you answered a good question, people are more likely to link to that and share it on their own. If you ask somebody to link to a page where you're selling a product or a service, they're going to tell you to pound sand. Why would they link to a place that is just to make you money? But they will link to places that you're answering good questions that people would have, or their audience might have, about a particular thing. If they link into that and you've linked up to your target page properly, and I would put that in the first paragraph and link up, you will pass that juice along. So one other nice thing about these things too is that if you use the people also ask, that's a long tail phrase. It'll often rank on its own without doing any SEO. So just put that question in as your page title and meta title, and then just answer it. Write what the answer is, and you end up with some excellent content. People will link to it naturally. It'll rank naturally on its own. It'll start to trickle in traffic, and you kind of generate this cycle of good for your site. You can bang out all that quite quickly, and that is a fast and effective SEO. And in an 80-20 rule, that's going to cover you 80% of the time.
With Geo Landing Pages, you can control your page structure. You quickly optimize your website for revenue-generating keywords by easily structuring content in a way that search engines love. Your image SEO. You can do simple things to the images that will make your local rankings really take off. Remember how I mentioned Exif earlier? We're going to get into that in just a few minutes. Internal links. You can add meaningful references to your money pages for faster indexing and top performance in the search engines. Next, my partner Matthew Corsandi is going to show you some examples of a few pages we've made that are absolutely crushing it.
Thanks so much for having me on, Floyd. I'm really excited to be here today and share this information with everyone. These are some really simple and actionable steps that people can take in terms of understanding the anatomy of a web page or a landing page that allows Google to crawl the page and rank it high in search engines so that you can get more business to your website. And in this example, I'm going to show you a website for a divorce mediator here in Southern California. Her name is Layla Balakane, and she's given us permission to share this information with you. So I'm going to do a simple search for divorce mediator in Baldwin Park. Okay. And as we can see here, we have an ad, and just under the ad, we have a featured snippet that's just above the map, which she's also ranking for in the maps here. And we have some, more search results just under that. We're ranking above, some really big domains with a lot of domain authority for the same keywords that we're targeting, but we're number one here. And I'm going to show you why we're number one. And this is not a website that has a lot of domain authority. It's actually significantly less domain authority than the other websites that you see ranking below. It's just we are implementing some really powerful on-page best practices when it comes to ranking. So let's take a look at this page and discuss the anatomy. As you can see up here, we have a title, also known as our H1, that has the word Baldwin Park Family and Divorce Mediator in it. And those are the keywords that we're telling Google we want to rank for. You only want to have one H1 on your page, and that should be the keyword that you want to be ranking for. As you scroll down the page, you see what is called a breadcrumb. And a breadcrumb is essentially a really simple and easy way to tell Google that this is the structure of my site, and this is a really simple way for users to navigate my site. So Google really likes that. And then as you keep going down, you see what's called an H2 tag, and we have multiple H2 tags on the page. Here's another H2 tag down here. And it has a variation of our keyword. Family and Divorce Mediator in Baldwin Park. This one is Divorce and Family Law Mediator Baldwin Park. And then as you go below it, you can see our keyword in the body content as well. Another variation of our keyword in the body content as well. We have a bunch of images, which I'm going to talk about in a moment here. We have a video, which talks about Layla's services, a contact form, which allows people to provide their information and gives Layla their email addresses, some blog posts, more content, and then a really nice Baldwin Park divorce mediation frequently asked questions section, which has, again, our keyword in the H2, our keyword in the body content, and then our keywords spread throughout these FAQs And then, some nice answers in regards to some of these really common questions that we found people are asking. Now, quickly, before I let you go, I do want to show you what we're doing to these images that Google and other search engines love and most people are not doing. So if I go to save this image, you'll see that it's titled Divorce Mediator Baldwin Park. So Google is able to see what you're titling your file names for your images. So I have added my keywords to the title of this image. And if I save this image, we take this one step further, and I'm going to show you that when I choose this file and I open it, we're able to look at the GPS and Exif data of the photo, and it'll tell you that the photo was taken in Baldwin Park. And we know that Google is able to crawl these pages, look at these images, and see where they were taken, and it's using that as a ranking factor. And we know that it's using that as a ranking factor because we've done this across multiple websites. So if I even go to images here, you'll see the first 5 images that are ranking on the top are all these images on Ballacane Mediation's site, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are some really simple, powerful things that you could use today that'll move the needle.
Let's see how she's doing today, Matt. Wow, look at that. She even got the carousel on that one. Look at that nice tall listing. I can't make this up, guys. She's beating Yelp, Justia, Thumbtack, Nolo, some big legal websites. And this site has very few backlinks and it is not very old, okay? So this site just pulled a #1 ranking out of 1.74 million results for a money term. Let's try adding some other cities in here. Let's try Alhambra. Same thing, look at that. This is above the 3-pack. Let's try Baldwin Park. There it is again. Unbelievable. Let's try Monterey Park. Still #1 and #2. Look at that. She's beating Mediate and Justia, Yelp, some other very big legal sites. Let's try Azusa. There's the image carousel again with a nice big fat listing right above the Maps 3-pack. Can you believe that? Look at that, everybody. Again, beating Yellow Pages, Avo, Law Info, other very large websites. Let's try Los Angeles. There she is, #1. Let's try La Mirada. #1. And that leads us to secret #2. The second secret to having a top performing local website is creating geocoded images. It's important that you do it in a way that WordPress can display them and Google can crawl them. Let's learn a little bit more about what Exif data does and what Matt Cutts from Google actually publicly stated about this one little known aspect of search engine optimization.
Today's question comes from Christian in Madrid, who asks, does Google use Exif data from pictures as a ranking factor? The short answer is we did a blog post in, I think, April of 2012 where we talked about it, and we did say that we reserve the right to use Exif or other sort of metadata that we find about an image in order to help people find information. And at least in the version of image search as it existed back then, when you clicked on an image, we would sometimes show the information from Exif data in the right-hand sidebar. So it is something that Google is able to parse out, and I think we do reserve the right to use it in ranking. So if you're taking pictures, I would go ahead and embed that sort of information if it's available within your camera, because if somebody wants to eventually search for camera types or focal lengths or dates or something like that, it can be possibly a useful source of information. So I'd go ahead and include it if it's already there. I wouldn't worry about adding it if it's not there, but we do reserve the right to use it as potentially a ranking factor.
The secret to having a top performing local website is geocoding your images. Did you all hear that? Google may reserve the right. We've published thousands of pages using Exif data, and we have absolutely seen a correlation to Exif and rankings. And our client Braden in Vancouver is going to share his results.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Braden Fairbridge. I'm the co-founder of a video production company based out of Vancouver called Your Story Agency. And I just wanted to hop on and do this quick video testimonial in regards to the experience I had working with the team over at Geo Landing Pages. So specifically Matt and Floyd Mitchell. I've been a video production company owner for 4 to 5 years, worked with hundreds of different businesses. And in those projects, I've partnered with a lot of agencies and been in contact with a lot of experts in SEO and digital marketing who often, overpromise and underdeliver for our clients. And I just want to say that that's definitely not the case with Geo Landing Pages. Right from the start, in the initial communication, I could tell that not only what they are doing in terms of the software and the processes that they're implementing were different and more advanced, but just the communication and professionalism from both Floyd and Matt and the rest of the team has been phenomenal. So in regards to Floyd's experience, he's definitely not one of those fake gurus. He genuinely knows exactly what he's talking about in terms of SEO. He's been doing it for over a decade. And the results that he shows from past clients that he's worked with are real because he achieved the same results for us in a matter of a week or two. So we had a series of about 25 geo pages built for us in the local and surrounding areas around Vancouver. And before, up to this point, a lot of our business had been conducted from referral, cold outreach. It's been a lot of hustle and grind from our sales team to be able to generate high quality leads. And this has been absolutely game changing for our business. I can't, describe how grateful I am for the work that they've done for our business. Within a week or two, we were ranking for some of the top terms, search terms for video production in Vancouver. And we're popping up on page 1 and close to page 1 for pretty much all those search terms. Beforehand, we had pretty much no SEO. The image SEO is something that I want to talk about as well. Pretty much any search term for video in the local and surrounding area, we're ranking with our images in the very top of Google search results. And it's not even just the pages and the results that we're ranking for, it's the actual business that's being conducted. And they've continued to optimize our pages more than we'd had ever asked for or hoped for. Months after these pages were implemented, they're sending us analytics, updates to how well our pages are doing. And they're even going in and making changes to make sure that they're optimized as much as possible. So definitely check out Geo Pages. Don't look any further. I highly recommend it. It's worth the investment. Check them out and you definitely won't regret it.
Okay, everybody, Matt's going to show you how we bulk geocode images. And when I tell you this is the hottest tool on the internet in SEO, I'm not exaggerating. Check this out.
Hi everyone, this is Matthew here again, and in this quick video I'm going to show you how we quickly geocode these 3 images. And in this case we are using the example of a dentist, and we're going to geocode these images and recreate these file names for 100 of the most populated cities across the United States. Okay, and what we're going to use is this data table with the top 100 cities in the United States already sorted. And if you're wondering where we got this, don't worry, it all comes with the Geo Landing Pages software. You'll get access to all of this information for actually every single city in the United States. But in the meantime, I need to populate a Google Sheet with the information that I want in the actual photos, in their file names, and also in their Exif. So across the top here, you can see all of my variables that I'm going to be using and plugging into each of my images. And for this variable, that's going to be what we rename all of these images with. So the GeoCity is going to be the actual city name, as you'll see right now. So let me pull these into the sheet and you can see quickly how I do that. So this is my GeoCity variable, and this is the variable that's going to change across all of the file names, which you'll see once we run it through our software. Here we're going to pull the corresponding state. We're going to pull the zip codes for that city in that state. We're going to get the GPS coordinates of the respective cities, which I have right here. And then this is the information that I want to be in the actual Exif of my photos. So I want the Exif title to be the best dentist in GeoCity, GeoState. So that'll pull in the best dentist in New York City, New York, and I will do that across all of the images. My keywords are going to be the city name, dentists, dental cleaning, teeth whitening, dental hygiene, and physician, and I'm going to do that across all of the images as well. And then lastly, my description will say, proudly providing the best dental care in the following zip codes, and I'm going to be pulling in my geo zip code here. And I'll do that across all of the images as well. So the images will pull their respective cities' zip codes in their descriptions. So now I've populated the sheet, and I'm actually ready to run it through the Geo Landing Pages software. So here we are in the actual browser in the software, and all we need to do is upload these 3 images, and there they are. And then we're going to just pull the contents of this sheet that I just created. We're going to copy it, and we're just going to paste it right here where it says header and data row from spreadsheet. We're going to click on Save Project. And as you can see here, we've now created, I believe that's 300 images in all of the major cities across the United States. You can see Best Dental Care Houston, Best Dental Care Phoenix, Manhattan, Philadelphia, San Antonio, the Bronx, San Diego. And now let's just quickly inspect one of these so you can see what we've done. So I've just downloaded the San Francisco image. Let's plug that into 2 tools to look at the Exif data. So we're quickly going to just choose that file that we just downloaded, the San Francisco file. And let's see where that photo was taken. Beautiful, showing us that it was taken in San Francisco. And if we want to look at the other data, we can use a tool called Exif Viewer. We can choose that same file, and you'll see in that file, proudly providing the best dental care in the following zip codes. And here are all of the zip codes for San Francisco. And you can see the keywords: San Francisco, dentist, dental cleaning, teeth whitening, dental hygiene, physician, the best dentist in San Francisco, CA. Let's quickly do another image. Let's pull in dentists, Virginia Beach. And let's do the same thing. Another image, dentists, Virginia Beach. View the Exif. And there you can see that photo was taken in Virginia Beach. We'll do the same thing here, and the only thing that you'll see different is the city name and the state, and then also the zip codes are going to be different for this image. And there it is, Virginia Beach dentists, the best dentist in Virginia Beach, and then here are the respective zip codes in Virginia Beach. Hope this was helpful. Thanks, guys.
So that's secret number 2, geocoded images. The second step to creating a powerful online presence for your clients is geocoding your images with GPS and other relevant metadata. This single strategy can help you outrank some of the biggest competitors in your space for the money keywords you are targeting. The reason more SEOs and webmasters aren't talking about or leveraging image metadata optimization is 2-part. 1, many SEOs don't even know about geocoding images as it's not mentioned in any of the major SEO publications. Secondly, it was an extremely time-consuming process with no tools available to leverage until now. Therefore, it's still a viable and proven strategy that you can take advantage of. That brings us to the third secret of a top local ranked website. In this next little section, I'm going to show you why the ugly little footer links are still powerful today and why you want to leverage this little unknown tactic to generate faster indexing and higher ranked pages. Hey guys, I'm going to show you a little known secret to get your pages indexed. By having your GeoCity pages represented as footer links on your home page, this is a surefire way to get rapid indexing and to get your pages crawled much faster than if you buried those links somewhere else on an inner page. We do this all the time. The Books.io was launched on July 17th. I'm going to fast forward to August 5th, with a video with Matt where he shows just how fast these pages got crawled, indexed, and ranked. Today it's August 5th, 2020. Many of these pages have already been ranking for over 2 weeks now, but we wanted to go ahead and let around 3 weeks pass to give you guys a really good example of some early results. So Matt, would you mind kind of walking us through this and share with everyone the different tools you're using to do this?
Sure. So we're using a tool called seranking.com, which has a number of different features. One of them being, you can plug in all the keywords that you're looking for to see how you're ranking for a specific website. And we just plugged in a bunch of the target keywords with the different cities to see how they're performing thus far. The tool also tells us how many of our pages have been indexed. So we launched, how many pages did we launch? 100 pages?
We did 100, all around the San Francisco Bay Area.
Nearly all of them have been indexed, at least where I'm in Beverly Hills, California. And we have some pretty, substantial results. And before I even show you the results, actually, let's hop over to Ahrefs really quick. I always like to make a point of, showing that we're doing this with a brand new website, no domain authority whatsoever. Ahrefs doesn't even know what its ranking is because it has no data.
In fact, Matt, I registered the domain 3 weeks ago. So everyone, this is important. We're talking a brand new domain, a brand new website, no history, no Google Maps listing, 0 trust factors, no citations or backlinks or anything. Okay. So typically, and there's a huge argument in the SEO community about this Google sandbox period where a fresh domain doesn't stand a chance to rank for up to a year, 2 years. We're defying and we're shattering that concept here, guys and gals. Okay, so we're talking 3 weeks, and look at these results. We got 4 number 1 rankings. We got 2, 4, 6. We got another 6 number 2 rankings, and this is just for one keyword set. But we're on a SE ranking trial, Matt, right? So we're limited to what, a couple hundred keywords or something, Matt?
250, and it seems like out of our all of our pages so far and the keywords that we plugged in here, we have about 50 pages that are ranking, and a number of them being on page 1, as you can see here in green, which is pretty fantastic. So, I mean, I don't know what to say other than it's just pretty impressive. This is a test for us because typically, when we work with clients and normally, I'm guessing you're working with a lot of clients that you're thinking about using this for, there is some web presence there as far as, maybe a Google Maps listing, maybe some links. The site's a little bit older. There's certain trust factors there, but we're trying to show you what this looks like if you didn't have any of that whatsoever, and we're just being completely transparent here and brutally honest about how this website's performing, having only done the work that Floyd did that night. We have not touched the site since then.
Would you mind dumping 100 of these keywords just so we can do this live and including, hell, dump all of them, that's fine. Let's do small business bookkeeper city name. Matt, can we do that? Can we try that?
Sure.
And then while this tool is running and refreshing the rankings in the background, we'll take them on a tour of Search Console. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good. What are we doing? We're doing small business bookkeeper city name?
Yeah.
Okay, let's grab some of these. Let's grab these, yeah?
Yeah, cool. I know I threw you a curveball there, Matt. Thank you. I think it's good for people to see stuff live,
I agree.
So what tool is this, Matt?
This is Merge Words. Allows me to put all the keywords I want to together really quickly instead of one by one. Small business bookkeeper.
Yeah, bookkeeper. Let's go ahead and let's not even do N. Let's just do bookkeeper city name.
Let's just take them all.
So I'm going to talk a little bit, Matt, while you're doing that. For all the agencies and freelancers and even clients, it's really important for me to share this with you. Look, there's a lot of SEO products that you can offer, and there's an overwhelming amount of just content and ideas and strategies and long form and people publishing and teaching and sharing. Look, if you want results and you want something tangible, I'm telling you this from me running my agency for many years, this Geo Landing Pages offering gives you a product that you can pitch, you can put it in a box and close a deal on it, and you can deliver the work and get paid, and you can have your customers satisfied. Most importantly, you can demonstrate results. This is the best local SEO product I've sold. This is a brand new site. It needs a ton of work, but it's already showing us impressions and clicks. So the second column over, the left column is the actual URL to the page. The clicks column, one over, is showing how many visitors have come to that page, and the one to the right is impressions. So between clicks and impressions, that's where your click-through rate is derived. So if you scroll up a little bit, Matt, we can show them. So far, the average click-through rate is 7.8%. That is insane. That is highly targeted. That's also a product of it being a fresh site, and the only people finding it are people in organic who are looking in those specific cities. So Matt, why do you think, just while we have you, you have a lot of experience with this. In fact, you've pushed the tool to limits that have been surprising to me in terms of like your advanced strategies and how you lay out sheets. Why do you think this tool works, Matt, from your experience?
Well, I think they work because we're completely following Google's guidelines. And I think there's something to be said about the image SEO in particular. But also, we're putting things together in a way that does not allow you to make a mistake when it comes to the SEO elements on page, because you're going through an SOP that walks you through one by one what needs to be on your seed page in order to get these pages ranking. And then also, every single one of your images is going to have the custom GPS and Exif data, which is a unique signal on every page. And then you have complete control with the Google Sheet as far as what you customize on every page. So I think when it comes down to it, we have the capability of doing more customization and having more stamina to do so, because we're able to produce such pages so quickly for clients. Whereas most others don't even offer this to clients because it just takes too long, when the fact of the matter is this is pound for pound the best dollars a client can spend for, to increase their local presence, while also, as an agency like Floyd and I, allows us to make money by doing so, because we're doing it in a quick amount of time. So it's a win-win for everybody. The clients are extremely happy. In fact, we have an attorney that has now ordered their 6th round of pages for another service type because they're so happy with the results and the calls that they're getting from those results. And they don't,
that law firm, they don't waste their money, do they, Matt?
No, they don't. And they've paid us good money, and they
sure have.
And they're paying us more and more again. So something that you could do with your clients potentially is say, look, you know what, I'll give you a break on your first round of pages because I want you to see how it works. And then they'll see it working and they'll freak out, and then they'll say, let's run it back. So that's something that we've seen from a number of our clients, which is really exciting. And it's also exciting to know that you're able to provide a product in a quick and efficient manner that your clients pay you for, and that they're happy to pay you for. That's what I love about this product so much.
I have to say, I love that too, Matt. There's nothing worse than getting a call 2 months, 3 months, 6 months into an SEO engagement. And look, I'll be honest, it's happened to me. Floyd, the phone's not ringing. It's just the worst feeling, because you do put a lot of time and energy into this stuff. And when stuff's not working, it's just deflating. It just takes all the fun out of SEO. This tool makes SEO fun again, doesn't it, Matt? Like, Like, how much fun do we have every time we run a batch of pages and it says have fun on the back end of WordPress? It's like, it's awesome, right?
It's awesome, and it's awesome watching the pages index. And then it's awesome when your client says, I got a couple calls today. I wasn't getting those calls before. I'm sure it was you, because that doesn't happen to me.
It's truly something special. And so thank you all. Do you have any other things you want to say, Matt?
I don't. Here's a quick look at the small business bookkeeper rankings. Here's what we got. These are all the pages. These are all the cities. And we're just looking at small business bookkeeper here. So here's what we got here. Not bad.
Not bad. Couple number twos are still trickling in.
It still is early on. I think Google is still figuring out what to do with these pages.
And you're spot on. You know, yesterday we talked with one of our agency partners in our weekly call last night about waiting a year. Everybody needs to know that these are early results. These are 2 or 3 weeks. If you think this is impressive, wait till you see our August 5th, 2021 update video to these rankings. You're going to see an absolute explosion. There's a reason why we've put all this energy and time into Geo Landing Pages. This tactic, this strategy, these quality city pages have been dominating for well over a decade for many of my clients, and up to 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. We have pages from 2015 that are just crushing it. So be patient, do a good job, go in, rewrite a little bit of the content on each page, have fun with it. But you need these early results to feel a sense of winning so you can continue on this journey of putting in the time and energy it takes to get these rankings. So thanks again, Matt, and we'll be sure to update everybody soon.
Thanks, guys.
What I've just shown you is a behind the scenes look at the exact system I've used to achieve insane results and make a lot of money as an SEO practitioner. It's a system I've personally used to build well over 10,000 city-specific landing pages for a multitude of clients across the US. Let's recap everything you've learned about ranking your website with city-specific landing pages to grow your business. First, we talked about on-page SEO strategies and tactics. Next, we walked you through geocoding images and how important that tactic is for top rankings in the major search engines. Then, we showed you some live rankings on a website that has no backlinks, zero authority, that's sitting on a brand new domain. I'm going to have Matt take you on a quick tour of the back end of the software so that you can see just how powerful this thing is.
In this video, we're going to show you how to export your seed page from WordPress and insert it right here into the Geo Landing Pages software. And for this example, we're using the Geo Landing Pages website where we've created a seed page targeting the keyword local SEO services in 200 cities across the state of California. So we're going to move into the back end of WordPress where we're going to first look at our pages and make sure that there's only one page, which is my seed page, under my authorship. From there, we're going to go to Tools and Export. We're going to click on Pages. We're going to find my author, and we're going to click Download Export File. From there, we're going to take that file and upload it into the Geo Landing Pages software. Now that we've inserted our seed page into the Geo Landing Pages software, it's time to edit our script section so that we can run the tool. In this area, there's only a number of things that you need to change. Number one is right here where it says footer links. We're going to change website domain to your domain, which in this case, we're using Geo Landing Pages. Over here, you're going to use your URL structure, which is GeoURL for us, and then the title of the link, which we just want to be our city name, and our variable is GeoCity. From there, we're going to scroll down, and you're going to see two other areas that we need to edit. Number one is your header row from the spreadsheet, and number two are your data rows from the spreadsheet. So we're going to move into our spreadsheet, which you can see here has already been completely populated by me. And I'm going to copy the entire contents of this sheet. I'm going to go back to the app. I'm going to select everything that's here. I'm going to paste the contents of my sheet so that it's all uploaded here. I'm going to come back to the top here, and I'm going to take my variables, I'm going to cut them, and I'm going to paste them right here. And now the script section is ready for the tool to be run. Now that we've uploaded our seed page XML file into the software and we've edited our script with our Google Sheet, it's time to upload our seed page images. In this folder, I've downloaded all of the images that were on my seed page, and I'm quickly going to check to make sure that I've spelled GeoCity correctly, as that's the variable that's going to be changing across all of the images. Once I've done that, I can select all the images and upload them right here. I'm going to show you how to run the Geo Landing Pages software and upload all of your new pages into WordPress. But before we do that, we want to quickly double check all of our work to make sure we've done everything correctly. So we've exported our seed page XML file from WordPress and we've uploaded it right here into the software. We've edited our script in the following areas. We've added Geo Landing Pages as the domain in the footer links, and we've made sure that our variables are still matching our Google Sheet. We've added the header row from our Google spreadsheet. We've added our data rows, or the content of all of our spreadsheet here. And lastly, we've uploaded all of our seed page images with the proper file names here. Once we've confirmed everything is correct, we can click on Save Project. And now we've actually run the tool. If I click on Download here, I've now downloaded all 200 pages that I've just created for my website. Here are all of the footer links that I'll be able to easily copy and paste into the website, which I've actually already done before this video. And I'm also going to be able to upload all of these images, or download all of these images, and put them into the media browser of WordPress, which I've also done prior to this video. And I'm going to show you over here. Now you see we have only 8 pages on the website. I'm going to show you how we import all 200 pages. So we're going to go to Tools, Import. I'm going to click on Run Importer here. Choose File. Downloads, and here's the file that I just created and downloaded. Click on Open. Upload file and import. You can see on the bottom left of my screen, it's uploading the file, which will take a few seconds here because we are uploading 200 pages, highly optimized for local SEO. And now we're going to click on Submit. You don't want to click on Download and Import File Attachments. You just want to click on Submit. So now it's uploading the pages, and then we're just going to quickly double check to make sure all the pages are there. Perfect, all done, have fun. So now we should see 208 pages. Yep, there they are. And here are all the pages. Local SEO services in Alameda, the title of the page, the meta description of the page. Here are all of those pages. We can quickly view a couple of them. All of our images are uploaded. Contents of the page are all here. Let's check another one really quickly. Glendale. And that's it. We've now just created 200 pages, highly optimized for local SEO services in 200 cities in California.
May I ask you one question at this point? I know we've had limited time together. Given the time that we have had, did we do a good job today of giving you information, even if you left this room right now, that you could use to help grow your business tomorrow? Let me know in the chat by saying yes or no. Have we given you guys value? Did I earn the right to spend a few minutes talking about how you can work with me leveraging my SEO software and our unique done-for-you service to grow your business? You've seen how powerful these city pages can be. You've seen live ranking results, and you've heard from some experts and from some customers who are now benefiting from the value that these pages have created for their businesses. Are you willing to work hard while also working smart? Are you interested in leveraging one of the most powerful SEO tools on the market today? Then next, I'm going to share my offer, but first, a quick earnings disclaimer. From time to time, the company may report on the success of one of its existing or prior customers. The information about this success is accurately portrayed by the customer. You acknowledge that the prior success of others does not guarantee your success. As with any business, your results may vary and will be based on your individual capacity, business experience, expertise, and level of desire. There are no guarantees concerning the level of success you may experience. There is no guarantee that you will make any income at all, and you accept the risk that the earnings and income statements differ by individual. Each individual's success depends on his or her background, dedication, desire, and motivation. The use of our information, products, and services should be based on your own due diligence, and you agree that Geo Landing Pages is not liable for any success or failure of your business that is directly or indirectly related to the purchase and use of our information, products, and services reviewed or advertised on this webinar and our website, geolandingpages.com. Statements or examples of actual earnings on this website that are attributed to a specific individual or business are true and correct, and we will verify them upon request and also provide statements of expected typical results. Simply email us compliance@geolandingpages.com. However, these statements or examples should not be viewed as promises or guarantees of earnings or income. We want to be very clear about this, everyone. Earnings and income potential are affected by a number of factors over which we have no control, including but not limited to your financial condition, talent, skills, level of effort, motivation, past experience in education, your competition, and changes within the market. With that out of the way, here's what we have to offer you in this webinar exclusive. Introducing the Local SEO Accelerator Stack, a value-packed offering by the team at Geo Landing Pages. Supercharge your new skill set with our tools, knowledge, and the Geo Landing Pages software. Here's exactly what you're going to get. The Geo Landing Pages Cloud Builder Suite. Save time and money building hundreds of highly optimized, white hat, geographically targeted landing pages using our cloud-based software. Build just one page, choose your cities, write your content, and let our software do the rest. As part of this webinar exclusive, you're going to get a complimentary first batch of landing pages included, along with a live 2-hour training session to make sure you hit the ground running. We'll help you process your first order of Geo Landing Pages. You'll get access to the Geo Landing Pages Masterclass course. This 30-video training course teaches you how to truly dominate the local SERPs with our simple techniques, software, and step-by-step guides. The Geo Landing Pages Masterclass course is a comprehensive on-page SEO course. It's going to teach you exactly what you have to do to make highly optimized city pages for your WordPress website. Geo Landing Pages works with all types of WordPress websites, regardless of theme or plugins or hosting. You're going to learn everything you need to know to deploy these pages on your website, from the seed page creation to the image optimization to on-page optimization factors, all the way through creating multiple pages. This is going to save you an absolute extreme amount of time. I used to spend 6 to 8 hours just designing one page, and we made hundreds of city pages like this by hand. Using the Geo Landing Pages system, you can produce multiple pages at once, anywhere from 10 to 10,000. You're going to get access to every single one of these course modules. A full breakdown under each video over-the-shoulder module shows you exactly step-by-step how I make these pages that dominate the search engine results pages. From the seed page creation to submitting your orders and data to a ton of agency white label collateral. You get a sales kit, you get a sample agreement, you get access to Google Sheets that are pre-populated with variables. This will all make sense once you get into the course, but it is packed with all kinds of freebies. You'll get exclusive access to the Geo Labs monthly newsletter to stay informed all things geo-based SEO, with live ranking data from the GLP Labs, search engine news, and patent filings and interpretations, with high-level expert contributions from industry heavyweights. And in this bundled offer, you'll have access to the Image Refinery, our Exif and metadata add-on feature for Geo Landing Pages. Leverage the most powerful local SEO factor by producing keyword and data-rich images and graphics in bulk within seconds. And number 6, the bi-weekly Q&A. Floyd, Matt, and the Geo Landing Pages team will be available to you in private QA sessions bi-weekly, 26 per year. Now that's a lot of Q&A. The Geo Landing Pages Sales Kit. Kickstart your sales with our proven 6-figure Death Star proposal, the Geo Landing Pages keynote sales presentation, sample agreement, and work completion email swipe files. You'll be invited into the Facebook Mastermind group. Get access to top local SEOs in a supporting group that embraces the future generation of SEOs. Level up at record speeds with the knowledge you'll gain in this high-level and exclusive group dynamic. We'll share with you our national U.S. cities geo database. This database includes zip codes, latitude, longitude, altitude, and many other geo-based data that can be leveraged to boost your local rankings. Here's number 10. And it's a big one. You're going to get 50% off our done-for-you orders. Our done-for-you service is great for those times where you get super busy or have a tough project that requires some extra SEO muscle to compete. You won't pay the standard $250 per page when leveraging the Geo Landing Pages DFY service. You'll have preferred agency discounts of 50% off, so you'll have plenty of margin to profit on those deals as well. Let's recap what you get in the Local SEO Accelerator Stack. What you get in this webinar exclusive offer is the following. You'll have full access to the Geo Landing Pages Cloud Builder Suite. You're getting the complimentary first batch of landing pages, where our staff helps you in a 2-hour live training session to get you up and running. You're going to get the Geo Landing Pages Masterclass course. You'll have the Geo Labs monthly newsletter in your inbox. You'll be able to leverage the Image Refinery Exif and metadata add-on feature to bulk geocode images and graphics. You'll be able to join us on the bi-weekly Q&A. We'll share with you the Geo Landing Pages sales kit. You'll get an invite to the Facebook Mastermind group, and we're throwing in the National U.S. Cities database to supercharge your local pages. This is a value-packed offering with a total retail value of $39,600. Okay, everybody. Now, this may seem like a big number, and it is, but there are hundreds of agencies that would gladly invest this much wisely to leverage their time and instantly increase the valuation of their company. I know, because my team and I have invested well over $1 million of time, money, and energy into the Geo Landing Pages Local SEO Accelerator Stack. I also have a crack team of pros that have been working day and night on bringing this product to market for the better part of this last year. In fact, just over a year ago, my partner Matthew Corsandi, who you just heard from earlier, had never made a web page in his life. In the last 6 months, he's sold over $100,000 of our done-for-you service, and he delivered the work at whopping margins. Best of all, every single client is completely satisfied and elated at the work product and results that we've achieved for them. Who can ask for more than that? In fact, last week, Matt sold a job for $10,000. He collected a $7,500 deposit and delivered 100 landing pages, all in just a half a day. Best of all, the client is already ranking at the top of Google for money keywords. True story. I also know of a colleague that paid over $50,000 just to be able to offer a local city page SEO product that has less value than what we're proposing here today. Another true story, he invested over $50,000 for the opportunity to sell someone else's SEO service. Now, with this offering, you'll be selling your own service with no middleman, no hard costs outside of what I'm asking you to invest in today to grow your agency to the benefit of your clients and your good name in the world. In marketing, it's all about results, and what I'm offering you today will help you accomplish true proven results. I've been in your position where you want to make more money with your work, but you just don't know how to, nor do you even have the time to take on more work to generate more money. Like the old saying goes, you want to make more money? Produce more. The Geo Landing Pages Accelerator Stack shows you and guides you into higher production, higher yield. I said this in the beginning of the webinar, and I'm going to say it again. I love you guys. I love small businesses. I love the entrepreneurial spirit. And my goal is to help as many people as I can. Regardless of what I should charge for everything I'm offering you here today, I prefer to reach and help a broader audience with these tools. So for a limited time, if you take advantage of this webinar exclusive I'm offering you with a simple, flexible, and highly reduced price of just $1,495 per month, you will not regret it. But wait, there's more. If after 30 days you feel as though we haven't given you much more value than what you've paid, and for any reason, if you were not able to leverage the Geo Landing Pages system to your benefit or the benefit of your clients in a way that is satisfactory to you, I will happily give you a full refund. If for any reason that ends up being the case, we'll issue you a full refund because we don't want your money if it's not bringing you a life-changing amount of value, if it's not driving results for your clients, if it's not giving you a deeper and more meaningful sense of who you are as a professional, as an SEO provider. If you don't get a renewed sense of pride and if you're not feeling not deflated by how difficult SEO has become, if I'm not able to accomplish that and give you a renewed sense of energy and success with this system, I will happily offer you a refund. We are here for the long term. We are here to build an army of trained individuals that want to help these small businesses. I don't want you to risk your hard-earned money. You shouldn't have to do that. I de-risk this by going through all the painstaking detail in the field data and the labs data and the experimenting and the testing and the trying and the hiring and growing of a team and failing and skinning my knees and falling flat on my face over and over and over and over just to be able to bring you this opportunity. I've done that, and I have failed so many times. And I'm telling you guys, this is a success. This will help your agency and will help your clients grow. It'll help you spend time doing more of what matters and less of the shit that doesn't matter, like building links or spamming or buying expired domains or building PBNs or any of that garbage. Okay? Now, I have to tell you, with this opportunity, I'm going to be able to show you and prove to you that this system works. I just ask that you please give my team and I an opportunity to show you firsthand as a trained agency just how much success we can create together by leveraging all the tools that we're bringing to this relationship. Since the pandemic, I've been heartbroken to learn of so many businesses closing their doors. How better to serve them than to create an army of agencies armed with the best tools to help them bounce back and flourish. It all starts in our backyards on these local city pages, getting one lead, one phone call, and one booked appointment at a time. This proven system can help us all support each other to do just that. And I'm asking you to come join me today. Together, we can use this proven system to help the small businesses of America flourish once again. That's why under this webinar exclusive, I'm not going to charge you $39,600 for access to this stack. My goal is to keep this investment as low as possible for you while still staying in business and being able to support you as you get going with this process, okay? You already have a client in mind that could benefit from a batch of highly optimized local landing pages. I know you do. As mentioned, we're going to support you in making this first batch as part of our complimentary first order offer. So we're going to help you live for 2 hours get your first project done. So I really have de-risked this for you guys. I really have. Now, let's look at some numbers. Let's take a math and science-based approach to this thing, okay? Enough with the hype. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this thing. How many of these Geo Landing Pages per month do you have to produce to turn a profit? And how long will that take you to do? Let's use math to prove up the risk here. It's 4 hours of training in the course, 2 hours live with us of getting your first batch made, 4 hours to make the seed page, 2 hours to run the tool, 1 hour to send out emails to your clients showing them how much work you did using our swipe file with the work product breakdown. Customers love this detail. It shows everything we did with the XML file, with the GPS coordinates, with the images. We cite links to duplicate content in case any of you are wondering, isn't this duplicate content? No, it's not. We've made tens of thousands of these pages. And by the way, there is no duplicate content penalty. Google has stated that publicly ad nauseum. So any of you that are on the fence of that, just get that out of your head because that is not a factor here at play. Okay? 1 hour of setting up console, tag manager, etc., to track the calls and prove your worth to your client. We're going to teach you how to do this too in the course. So your time commitment, I don't know, ballpark, let's say I'm just doing the math here real quick, 12, 14, say it's 16 hours of time. All right? How much is it going to cost you? Hard dollar cost. $1,495 for the first month, and each month thereafter, no long-term commitment. Come and go as you please. So you're looking at 14, 15 hours and $1,400 or $1,500. How much could you charge to produce those 25 beautiful, or 100? Say it's 100. Say your first order is 100 pages. That's fine. How much could you charge to produce 25 to 100 beautiful, highly optimized SEO turbocharged landing pages that you can prove are ranking on page 1, or in many cases position 1, 2, 3, somewhere in the mix where you're actually going to get a call or a lead for your client? Is it safe to say that they'd pay you at least $100 a page? I think so. If not, you shouldn't be working for that client. So there you are. Month 1, you already broke even. How long would it take you to sell and fulfill other orders once you're trained with the system? How hard would it be to train a virtual assistant to do all the grunt work for you once you master it? You see where the economy of scale kicks in here, guys and gals? Matt really did sell $100,000 worth of these pages, and to my astonishment, he delivered the work also while I worked on this funnel and software and was focused on other areas of the business. In many ways, I have to say thank you to my partner Matt and my team and everyone involved. They've put so much of their time and passion and energy into this product that we can offer it to you here today. And I can promise you, if you put your trust in us and you give us a chance, we will help you succeed, and we will help you bring success to your clients. Now, I'm going to share a couple of real snapshots here. I hate to do it, but we're all conditioned to appreciate evidence and fact and figures. Okay, so I'm going to show you some snapshots of real invoices from Matt's sales and his work product. I'm going to show you our FreshBooks account, and let's hear from some real agency owners that Matt and I have worked with over the last 6 months. Don't take my word for it. Hear from real people in the flesh and blood. We're going to play some videos of them next.
Hello, my name is Randy Myers, and I own a digital marketing agency in Palm Springs, California since 1996. I wanted to create a video to share my experience with Floyd and Matt with Geo Landing Pages. My story starts way back when I was creating websites and doing marketing for local businesses. And I realized a few years ago that the only way I'm going to get them to rank for their cities and services is to create individual landing pages or web pages for each of the cities and services. Then I learned that I needed to use the Exif data within the images and geotag them. So it became very time consuming, especially if they had 10 cities and 10 services. That'd be 100 web pages that I have to create. And it works, but it was way too much work. So I've looked for automated systems and software. I've used a few in the past, and they always came out very spammy and something that I wouldn't be comfortable showing the client and representing my company with those pages. So I'm constantly on the lookout and learning how to do these things correctly and try to cut down on the time it takes to create the pages and still have them look awesome for the client. I was very skeptical at first because I've been through a lot of different systems and softwares, like I said, and none of them delivered the way that I wanted them to. And I was just blown away at the ease of use and the thoroughness and the quality of the pages and the Exif data and just everything about it. I was just blown away. Like Floyd and Matt are super knowledgeable. They were teaching me stuff that I thought I knew everything about this type of thing, but they just blew me away. So I decided that this was the system we needed, and I didn't want to build any more client sites without it. And if you're a digital marketing agency, you really need to look into this because there is no system like this available, because I've checked for years. And I'm super excited to work with these guys. We're on our 3rd website now, and I can't wait to build dozens and dozens with this system and really blow my clients away and keep them happy.
Many businesses have had bad experiences with SEO companies, and we're definitely one of those people that have had bad experiences. We've worked with 2 or 3 SEO companies in the past, and the results were just lackluster. They would project that by 6 months or 3 months, the ranking situation would look like this. and the results never followed. When you have a marketing business, the only metric that counts is results. And so you can be the nicest guy in the world and not deliver results, and your clients won't be your clients for very long. With Geo Landing Pages, we found that instead of the usual 3 to 6 months typical roadmap for expecting SEO results, in some cases we had page 1 rankings within a matter of days, which is pretty much as good as it gets with SEO work. In some instances, we found that our clients were getting page 1 rankings within a matter of days and not months. And so this is massive for us, and it's almost changed the way we do things overnight. Floyd and his team at Geo Landing Pages put real skin in the game with us in helping us problem solve a real issue that we'd had with another SEO company, and a real mess with a website that we were working on. We weren't getting the results, and the SEO company we were working with promised to do a deeper dive and then an even deeper dive, and the results just weren't there. We were getting a lot of excuses and no real traction. Floyd, Matt, and the team at Geo Landing Pages jumped into the situation with us and really helped us figure out what the issue was almost instantly, where the other SEO companies we were talking to couldn't figure it out. They immediately spotted what the issue was, and now we have our client, who has a nationwide company, ranking page 1, position 2 nationally on Google. We're really thankful to have discovered Geo Landing Pages, and we're going to be using them moving forward, and we are thrilled to be able to offer these kind of results to our clients. A lot of companies are using one landing page or one funnel to try and get all of this traffic from every direction. It's simply not going to happen with just one funnel. The beauty of Geo Landing Pages is that it creates lots of pages, and that essentially results in lots of different roads for people to travel on to find your company or your company's website. Hey, Floyd, Matt, Josh, and everybody, thank you so much for helping us with our SEO. We really appreciate you guys.
Hi, my name's Joshua. I'm a co-owner of a marketing agency, and I met Floyd and Matt through a business colleague. We were in a really interesting scenario with regards to an SEO project that we were on. It was actually going backwards. The team that we had hired and were working with were actually causing the rankings to drop, and we didn't know why. They kept promising all kinds of different things like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we'll ramp up hours, give you free hours, but the results only continued to slide and get worse and worse than they were. And our client was curious, and they're saying, hey, why are the results going backwards? What's going on? And so the company that we were working with and the team that we had hired basically didn't have answers, and they came really well recommended in the first place, but at the end of the day they weren't getting the answers that we needed. And so when we started talking with Floyd and Matt, they were amazing, and they came in and they spent, I don't know, countless hours looking at the situation, diagnosing things, taking us under the hood, as they say, to look at what is going on with the website, with the SEO rankings, and the nuances to why everything was going in the wrong direction. So we ended up transitioning away from that original company, and Floyd and Matt were kind enough to just really jump in the deep end with us and lead us into a really great outcome. Their expertise, their knowledge, their time, their empathy and compassion for the situation, they just went above and beyond, and we were so grateful for them and what they've done that we wouldn't go anywhere else. I mean, these guys are full experts. They diagnosed the issues that were going on with the website, with the rankings, everything, and they just crushed all the problems. And to the extent that the term that we've been trying to rank for and get traffic for actually this last week popped onto page 1 after everything was, diagnosed. So Floyd and Matt figured out what needed to get done, and without them, without their expertise, we would have been dead in the water for sure. And so if you're thinking about using Geo Landing Pages, Floyd and Matt's system. We couldn't recommend them enough. They've just bent over backwards and just gone the extra mile. I mean, you hear about the hero's journey, and these guys were service plus integrity, not false promising or anything. And, it's been a delight to work with them. Unlike some of these other people that we were working with before, Floyd and Matt were just a dream come true. And we're getting the results, and we're really excited for what's in store in terms of working with them and what can be done for our clients, and in terms of getting traffic and helping other businesses grow, because that's what we're in business to do. We can't recommend Floyd and Matt and the Geo Landing Pages enough. You're in good hands, and we say 2 thumbs up.
And I just want to say in closing, guys, together we can succeed. We can help the small businesses of America bounce back from these incredibly trying and tumultuous times. And if you give me your trust, I won't fail you. And here's to our mutual success. Take care and good luck out there, guys.
Geo Landing Pages, the best way to get your WordPress website ranked in multiple cities. Our proprietary software creates multiple city-specific landing pages for your business. You'll benefit from best practice white hat SEO techniques that create dynamic web pages search engines love. Your landing pages include custom image names, unique Exif and GPS data, proper heading tags, meta descriptions and titles, alt text, and other essential on-page SEO elements. Our in-house copywriting team then reviews and edits every page to include unique content relevant to each city you serve. Built with over 20 years of experience in search engine optimization, web design, digital marketing, and copywriting, Geo Landing Pages saves you time and money while getting your pages ranked.